Finally, inner peace. Now what? Kai, old friend.
Master Uguay.
Our battle ended 500 years ago.
Well, now I'm ready for a rematch.
Well. My last video did so well, and you guys pointed out a bunch of stuff that I missed out on. So I thought I'd make a follow-up. So, let us factually compare Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact again. Main characters. Would you rather have a character that is literally the definition of aura farming? A person that is killing Threnodians left, right and centre. A person that doesn't even know their own power level and gathers wives like it's an average Tuesday? Or would you rather have a main character that can't even speak and has a high-pitched voice doing all the talking for you? I think it's 1-0 to Wuwa. Exploration. Now, in Genshin Impact, we all know that in order to properly explore, you need to get constellations or just get units, which means you have to spend upwards of 180 pulls just to have a better time exploring. Not to mention the fact that a constellation of a certain unit called Variza allows you to unlimited sprint. Imagine needing a constellation of a character to have unlimited sprint. Now, this would not be a problem if you had some free exploration quality of life. For example, I don't know, wings? Yes, folks, that is correct. Wuthering Waves has free exploration, and it is the best in the game. Yes, we do have gimmicks. Cantarella swimming faster. Fleur de Lis walking on air, if you count that as exploration quality of life. But the point I'm trying to make is that Wuthering Waves glider / wings is free. So, you know what? 2-0, just like that. Developer generosity. Now, let me put this into perspective. You have a unit that is coming out that has been anticipated for years, in that of Skirk. How many pulls should you give your players?
Been following you for a long time. Sign right there.
Yeah, I think having 54 free-to-play pulls when it can cost upwards of 300 sometimes just to get the character and their weapon, I think it's a bit low, isn't it? Now let's compare this to Wuthering Waves 2.1, which was perhaps one of the biggest filler updates in the game's recent history. Guys, I know the update was still great, just let me cook. Free-to-play had 99 limited pulls, not even counting the weapon or standard banner pulls. 99 limited pulls. That is enough to at least guarantee you a 5-star. So I think you know what this means. It's 3-0 to Wuwa, baby. NPC design. Well, I think this is very simple, really. Just look at this Genshin NPC versus this Wuwa NPC. Look at this Genshin NPC versus this Wuwa NPC. Now, I could go around each region and just compare NPCs, and I would be sat here for hours, but I'm not going to do that. So, 4-0. Weapon banner. Do I even need to explain myself here? Wuthering Waves has a 100% rate up chance for the weapon. You get a 5-star, it will be the weapon. Now, Genshin's weapon banner, you have not one, but 2 weapons on the banner. Now, that in itself is bad. And not only that, it's not even 100% rate up. So you can actually lose the chance to get a featured 5-star weapon and get your guarantee, and then go to soft pity again, and then get the wrong weapon. The fact that the game has been out for about 5.5 years, and it has one of the worst weapon banners known to man. Jesus Christ. This should be worth double, but I'm gonna be fair. 5-0. Reruns. Now, in Wuthering Waves, each unit is guaranteed, almost, to rerun approximately every 6 months. That might be due to the fact that there are so little units in the game. However, for Genshin Impact, there is no excuse. We have specific units that have not been reran for over 2 years. Shenhe, for example. Ryothusly and Eula having extremely long wait times. Meanwhile, Wuthering Waves made sure that they reran every single unit within the first year. Also, another quick little addition to this section before we move on. Wuthering Waves has introduced a starter limited banner, which is technically reruns, but not really. But it's more player friendly, so it deserves to go in here if not anywhere. So yes, another design feature that shits on Genshin. Love it. Now, Genshin Impact, here is a little thing that you might want to do. If you're complaining that you have so many characters and you can't rerun them all, just run triple banners. I mean, you're already predatory enough, so you might as well go even further. 6-0. Skins. I'd say Wuthering Waves is fairly new to the skin game, but comparative to its lifespan, not really. The first two set of skins we got was Genshin and Sanhua, which were absolutely amazing skins. Sanhua's was free, and Jinshi's skin was absolutely amazing. It had the weapon skin, it had special effects, it had everything you'd want from a skin. Now when you compare it to Genshin skins, you can just see with your own eyes the gulf in quality between the two. 7-0. Bosses. Now get this. Your main endgame is something that is timed. So what would be a really good boss design for something like that? Probably something that doesn't stall time. Stalling time in a time-based mode. Stalling time is such a cheap tactic for bosses, it is mental. And when you go into an endgame mode expecting to try and beat this time and then the boss stalls it, you feel absolutely powerless. Other games do it too, like Zenless for example, they have stalling bosses. But in Genshin, it is rife. And not only that, some bosses require certain characters, to a point where you run unoptimized team loadouts just to try and kill the boss because it requires a certain character. Mental. 8-0. Standard characters. Now, you may want to implement some nuance here and say, well, Genshin is a 5-year-old game versus Wuthering Waves being a 1-year-old game. Of course, the standard characters are going to be less useful in Genshin. Now, my friend, you would be correct. However, Genshin Impact have decided to completely destroy that argument by adding characters to the standard banner. For example, their newest addition is Mizuki, and she's absolutely awful. How are you adding units to the standard banner and not making them at least somewhat useful? Meanwhile, Wuthering Waves just has Verena. Need I say more? 9-0 to Wuthering Waves. Recent updates. Now, once again, we're joining on the 5.7 hate train. And this time we are comparing it to 2.4. Now, with everything that I've said, I think I can confidently say 2.4 blows 5.7 out of the water. The thing I cannot get over is including a unit that has been hyped for years and then having such a shit update to accompany it. It is absolutely mental. I cannot get over the incompetence and laziness from these devs. 10-0. So if you guys did watch the last video, the final score was 12-0. Plus the 10-0 from this video. Over 2 videos, we have an aggregate of 32-0. Jesus Christ, man. How is your game that bad that it does not take at least 1 point? Now, if you guys have watched both videos and I've still missed out on something, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, maybe I'll make a part 3. I think just the fact that I could potentially make a trilogy of these videos just deserves another point in itself. But unlike some people in the comments of my last video, I'm actually not rage baiting. I'm just stating objective fact. So I'm not going to rage bait and I'm not going to increase the score because I'm nice. So when you guys say that I'm rage baiting, I'm just not though. But yes, thank you all so much for tuning into this video and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.